done here. Oh man, I haven't been keeping up with my anything really. Ugh. 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 Too many cards. Too many cards. Alright. We want to filter by justice, Omens of the Past, non-premium, and unowned. And accept. Okay, I don't know why those guys fit into this, but we're actually taking care of all that today, so that should be fine. And I want this, and I want to pop out this, and then poop. And hopefully I can fit this in before Shootmans, but if friends show up and then have to leave, that is also perfectly fine. So let's just start out with the Cornwatch Squire. I know it says Crown Watch, but I like to call him Cornwatch. In addition to being a scaled-down human, which looks very awkward, he's 1 mana 1/1, and then can be a 3/3 if you ever mentor him. And just the once. Would this have really been that bad as not an ultimate, I wonder? I guess they want to like not have an overabundance of 1 mana things that can get like really huge, but they already like put a scoot mob in their set. Like what's really that bad about it? Anyway, yeah, I think this guy is on the poor end. I think that the mentor student deck doesn't really need this kind of thing, frankly. Like all of the mentor cards can be like individually strong and then make another unit good. And that's really all it takes. The only outstanding question I have is if this and I think it does work this way with the primal card that's like this guy is a student and now he hits that guy. I think it'll become big and then deal the damage, but I'm not 100% on that. So Crown Watch Squire is probably like fine if you're hurting for ones, and that really only happens in draft. Then yeah, he's pretty good because he's just functional. It's really pathetic without ever being able to mentor him though, so keep that in mind, I guess. Next up is a Minotaur, and also a Paladin. And a common, Minotaur Oathkeeper. When you attack the enemy player with exactly 1 unit, it gets, the unit gets +1/+1 this turn. Well, that's just way more solid, a 1-cost 1/1, than the last guy we were looking at, because this is always going to do something. It attacks for 2 on turn 2, it sort of like hands the Oathbook effect, well, not fully the Oathbook effect, because this is a this turn effect. Yeah. That's kind of good. Like it keeps its power around after the board becomes too clogged up to be able to attack with a 1-cost 1/1. So that's kind of nice. And if you have like a bunch of these guys for some reason, you can get this huge pump on 1 unit, which can also be very good. So yeah, that's just a solid role player. Next up is Copperhall Herald, 2-cost 1/3 Endurance Minotaur, and ultimate to become a 3/5. 3/5 Endurance is nothing to sneeze at. This is kind of underwhelming. I mean, we already have a 2-cost 1/3 Minotaur in Justice that has Warcry, and that thing is quite good. This is different. I want to say worse. Not really bad by any stretch, and you tend to need a lot of 2-cost units, and that this can be. I don't even know if this is relevant in the late game, because like a 3/5 endurance, like do you really need that? Is that what you need in the late game? What you need is evasion. So what else do we got? We have a sparring partner who mentors to give +1/+1. That's permanent, so that's kind of cool. I mean, 2-cost for like a total 3/3 of stats is pretty good. He's also an unseen whatever the hell that is. Most of the unseen have been wearing hoods so far, so we don't see them. And now that we do kind of see this guy, I still don't know what the hell they're going for with that. So, yeah, All right, I'm going to hit you with the sword, but first I will drive Rune in the air. Also, I get that he's sparring and he has like training dummies or whatever, but like you tend to either chop training dummies in half or spar with someone with a sword, and not like both. I don't know. I've seen plenty of kung fu movies, so maybe that does actually happen from time to time. Oh, Argent Port Instigator would definitely see play without any effect, like a 3 cost or a 2 cost 3/3.
Card
flat.
games.
It's like, yeah. Hello, Gnome.
I like Sparring Partner. What card are we
He's
up to?
alright. We're up to Stalwart Silverwing, which I think was one that I didn't like at all. You guys kind of liked.
Oh, 2 mana 1/1 Flying Revenge.
Yeah.
I don't love this card. I will play this card in limited.
Yeah, I don't know about that even, because like, I don't think it compares favorably to Humbug, and we already don't play Humbug. That's kind of where I'm at with this guy.
I think he's in better colors than Humbug. Like, this is a fine
That's
guy.
true. Like Justice has more. Justice has more
buffs.
like pump. Just like give him a sword, give him finest hour.
My frequent experience with this card, it has been using Sparring Partner on him. Like, have that be my 4.
No, I mean obviously with Revenge, any like permanent buff you can put on a guy is great.
Yeah, because he does come back with it.
Yeah,
He's
maybe being a Valkyrie is relevant. I don't know. We will see.
Yeah, I don't. Not a powerful card, but your deck could contain worse.
I'm not so sure, but we'll see. Like if I'm that hard up for evasion, then I think I'm going to lose. So let's see. Next up is Strength of the Many. Strength of Many, not the. There's no the. Unless you anagram strength to include the, and then have Strng.
Strng of the Many.
Strng of the Many. Give one of your units +1/+1 this turn for each of your units.
Yes. This card is very good.
The fast spell, yeah, like
yeah.
I'm looking at basically backup Finest Hour. Like if Finest Hour cost 2, we would still play it.
You'd still play
right?
it. This is not quite Might of the Masses, but it's basically Might of the Masses.
Yeah.
So this guy will do beatings. It's a combat trick.
Yeah, no, this is just fine. I think we've had a lot of really terrible common fast spells in Omens of the Past so far, and this one being fine gives me some hope. Like we can still design them. Oh well. Next up is Crown Watch Longsword. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Talon of No Strix.
Of the Nose Strix.
The Nose Strix, which is an owl that does not have a nose.
I don't like this card.
The No Nose Strix. You don't like a 2-cost 2/2 relic weapon?
I don't. A lot of this time, this is a bad shock.
Yeah.
It's being in Warcry colors makes it like this 3/3.
Yeah, like we don't really like Mithril Mace, for instance, but it can do a job.
Yeah, Mithril Mace tends to kill one creature and then gain you a life.
Yeah.
But this card will.
This won't really do that. This is like a nothing. I would. You know what I would like way more is a 0-cost relic weapon that had no stats. You know, something
like a 0/0/0.
Yeah. That would at least be that would at least be interesting, because then you'd be like, oh well, what do we do with this? And you would have to find a way to pump it to make it good, or to make it like playable in the least. But it would have the upside of like having no cost, right? So that would at least be something. Whereas this feels like you essentially do need to somehow pump it in order for it to be at all good, either through Warcry or other like weapon buffs.
Yeah, this thing is probably a little better than I give it credit for, but I hate this card.
Yeah. I think it would be way better as a 3/1. Like we
Well,
just
if
shift it
it's like
around a little bit.
like a 2-3-1, that would be actually really good.
Yeah.
Just because that's like
And
a
again, we don't really like magma javelin, but we'll play it because it will kill one thing.
yeah. I think that would be a 2-3-1 would be a really good would be a
Yeah.
strong common, but this is not.
Well, we're moving on to Tinker, which is a spell to power.
Not the magic card, Tinker, but
Look at the top card of your deck. You may put it on the bottom. Okay, so scry one, and then the top unit or weapon of your deck gets +2/+2. Well, now
what do you think of this card?
I'm trying to think if this is worth the card because you're getting getting the scry means you're like 30% of drawing a card, so to speak. I forget how there's a kind of rough equivalence of card advantage to
third
scry.
sounds about right to me because there's a card in Hour of Devastation that has Scry. It's a fake Palaka Worm that has Scry 3, and Kavanaugh tried to sell me that Scry 3 is like drawing a card, which I do not believe, but yeah, I'm not sure if this card is worth the slot either. I guess we play Crown Watch Longsword in Limited, but that gives you the effect immediately.
That's true. That is just like a 2 cost for +2/+2.
Where this is just like you
2
paid...
cost for 2 war cries. This is like this is like Minotaur Warrior or whatever nonsense. That's
like,
attacked twice for no effect.
Well, this
that at least gums up the board.
I guess my problem with this card is it spends 2 mana and a card to affect the board 0.
Yeah. That's a bit of a pain. Like, I guess if you want, like, all of the scrying in the world, then yes, you're locked into playing this. And then it's not, like, the worst.
Yeah,
but I can't see myself really wanting this. I do appreciate that they feature a claw hammer right here.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
Right
they
need to nail some nails.
Yep. Just a regular old claw hammer. Like, nothing... It's not a fantasy hammer, okay? Like, it's not Strength of the Many. It's not whatever... Oh my god, what was this thing? Smith's hammer. It's just hammer, and I like
a hammer.
That. So next up we have Tranquil Scholar.
Someone say Tranquil Scholar?
We said Tranquil Scholar.
I summoned Sly and 9. So you two can pay 2 power for a 2/2 who is the Shredder, and get a random battle skill. So I'm trying to think of what battle skills would be worth it, right? So what makes it? What battle skill is good at a 2 cost 2/2?
Well, of note, then give a unit in your hand.
Yeah.
That battle skill.
Yeah.
Like you didn't say that one.
I didn't because I'm trying to build up to what this card does in total.
So
Sorry.
2 mana 2/2 first strike has to have War Cry on it, and then we like it. A 2 mana 2/1 Aegis has to have War Cry for us to really like it, but we would still probably be okay with it. I think basically any of them.
Okay, well then this guy is good.
Like Lifesteal.
Like that exists. That's just a guy.
I have been told that this card for some reason can't gain bad battle skills, but that sounds like a fake lie. Like it can't gain Reckless.
Okay, can't get Reckless. Okay. Well, then if this got Reckless, then it would just be Honko. Is Reckless a battle skill?
Well,
Does Hero of the People
on,
can Hero of the People be given Reckless?
Do we have the
Spark premium cards? Hold on, let me. This is the reason that I keep my tooltips.
Your tooltips. Yeah.
Where is? There's Hero of the People, so she popped up. Battle skills are Aegis Charge, Deadly, Double Damage, Endurance, Flying, Killer, Lifesteal, Overwhelm, Quick Draw, Revenge, Unblockable, and War Cry. That's why he can't gain Reckless.
Okay.
Yeah, because Reckless not a
It's
battle
not in the list.
Okay. Weird.
2/2 Endurance is kind of nothing. Double Damage is cool. Flying's good. Killer's fine on a 2/2, I guess.
Yeah, I think Endurance
Overwhelm is kind of blah. Revenge
Yeah.
is very good on this guy.
Yeah, because Overwhelm is even pretty dang decent because you can hand this off to a creature that can more benefit from it, and plus your Injustice, so this guy might be picking up plates anyways.
It looks like the best, like double damage gives you a 4/2. Flying gives you like that relic hunter, and like unblockable. I guess unblockable.
Right, that's just
like,
that's just a 3-cost unit. So
Basically,
no, it really looks like he can't get a bad one.
good.
He's good. This guy's very
This
strong.
guy's
I've already
fine.
seen him a lot in Constructed.
So
Green's been hurting a little bit for 2-drops.
So there you go. Play the Shredder.
one of the things I want to say about it is that when you play it, it has like a little slot machine.
Yeah, it goes.
It's like you're playing Mario Kart and you got an item box and you're just like waiting to see what comes out.
It's a good animation. This guy's pretty slick. Next up is Copperhull Cudgel,
I had not seen this card.
which is a weapon. A +1 on your Crown Watch longsword for when the wielder dies, play a 2/2 Minotaur.
This thing's decent. It's
I mean,
bestow creature.
it's sort of it's sort of like 3-cost for overall 4/4 of stats, which is sort of solid, not like super amazing. You would play it. You'd be happier about it, I think, if you just got a plain old 3-cost 4/4.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would be. This thing's all right though. I don't hate this. Let's look at this art. Look at the art on it. This huge guy, and he's got a stick that's shaped like his head. And then when he dies, the stick becomes alive.
Avenge me.
Yeah, it's kind of cute. That's probably the best part of this card, the illustration. Okay, next up, I have a card I know you guys are gonna love. Copperhull Shield Man.
Yeah.
Shield Man. It's the Shieldman.
Man.
3
Shieldsman's here.
3-cost 0/7 Minotaur.
Well, if you ever wanted the most impenetrable of impenetrable walls in Limited, here you go. You play this and the ground will never move. This shield man cannot move.
Pretty sure this card
Shield
exists
Man.
so that the Doran the Siege Tower relic can be cute. You play this guy as a 3-mana 7/7.
Wait, does that exist?
We'll get to it.
We'll
Oh,
see.
okay. All right.
Sorry,
Well, there's
we'll
the
see.
Shield Man. Next is Emerald Ring, which actually looks like an emerald, so that's good.
Actually, an emerald.
3-cost relic that says once per turn you may pay 3 to put a 1/1 weapon on one of your units, which is a spiked helm.
Okay.
Of all of the rings, this one I think has some of the most interactions. Because if you control like the Oni Weaponsmith, this is 3-mana draw a card. Like,
Yeah, that's kind of good.
and it's passable pump. This card is fairly strong and limited just for being passable pump.
Stack up all the hats.
Yeah, your flyer gets.
It's kind of a, better, worse Paladin Oath book, mostly worse.
Yeah, mostly worse. But it's still an interesting enough card. I played with it and it was all right. It was a little slow, but it was all right.
Yeah, this is, I guess, a kind of inevitability.
The rings are all very very minor effects. So,
But it produces Spiked Helm.
Yeah.
A card that already exists. They like using cards that already exist for their tokens in this game.
I kind of like that. Like, especially the horn that makes Infernus. That's really great.
yeah, is the Minotaur a card?
I don't think the Minotaur is a card.
No, the Minotaur's just
He just, like, you can look at him.
it's just a 2/2 Minotaur.
2-cost, 2/2.
It might be the same art that there is a token producing relic that whenever you play a weapon, make a Minotaur of that size. It might be the same. It might be the same token.
Well, speaking of tokens that exist as cards, next up is Fencing Master, a 3-cost, 2-influence, 2/2, which has an ultimate that says when an enemy is stunned, put a 3/3 Gem Blade on Fencing Master. So there's your 3-cost 5/5 that they kind of like to put in the game. Like, well, actually, I'm thinking just the Shadow Beast.
There's
Whatever the heck
also False Prince.
Oh yeah, False Prince.
Yeah, I like how the flavor is you're stealing their sword.
They're stunned, so you can just take it.
I'm taking your sword now.
It's interesting enough. I don't hate this lady. She's all right. If you kind of have to spend a card to stun somebody in these colors, so
Yeah.
But
this is almost locked into Huru also, because all the
Yeah.
good stun cards
Yeah.
come from
Like,
Primal.
green and blue are the only ones that get stun at all. I think.
Unless you're playing Jack,
Mm.
who's Rakano.
Yeah.
So.
Jack, he just what was that card called? Rebuke.
Rebuke.
Yeah, Rebuke
Yeah,
does
he just
this.
casts Rebuke at a guy.
Rebuke gets you a 3/3 Gem Blade on Fencing Master.
That's all right. I wouldn't be super excited to pick this as my first pick, but it'd be all right.
Certainly not. I'd pick removal over it.
So next up is High Branch Sentry. 3
Uh-huh.
cost 3/3. When High Branch Sentry is a student, she gets +1/+1. And I think that's every time. Like, you can endlessly do it, because we have this guy at the very beginning who's like, it's an ultimate, I only get this once.
Yeah,
So
this,
she can do it multiple times.
she can learn multiple times.
Which, I think this is great. This is a fine card.
Let's say,
I think I
It's
like
fun.
3 cost 3/3s more than you guys, but
yes. I was about to say, as far as 3 mana 3/3 goes, she's not terrible. You being a student usually gives you the +1/+1 anyways, so she usually becomes a 5/5 after she learns.
The odd thing about it being not an ultimate is it's very hard to want to do it like the second or third time, because by the time that you're like, again, like, you know, you make her the student and now she's like a 4/4 with some text, and it's like, well, the next time you want to make her the student, you have to tap your 4/4 to not attack.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, let's make somebody else.
I think that doesn't come up as often as you're making it out to be, though. Like, board stalls are so common in this. If I have anything that can continue to grow and become this breaker, then yeah, I'm gonna want to do it.
That's about how it played out for me when I had cards like this.
True.
Is there anything that like repeatedly mentors like to go with this? That would make this a
No.
lot better.
You gotta have. I think every mentor is like a
Oh,
new
like an
card.
activated ability? No, yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, okay. Well, I guess this can not ever be quite that good.
She works well with the Ambuscade or Soul's Fire spell, or like
Yeah.
she Soul's Fires for 4.
Yeah, and that's something that you would want to have a bunch of in your deck if you're going to
Yeah.
be doing it. All right, well, that's High Branch Sentry. Bye, Branch Sentry. Next up is Spirit Guide, an obviously good card.
A very busted card.
Yeah.
A devilishly efficient card.
3 cost 3/3, double justice. Where have we heard that before? Someone who rhymes with Valkyrie Menforcer. He has lifesteal and gives someone else lifesteal.
Unseen.
Hey. He is an unseen.
An unseen.
Just unseen are usually the shredder.
Yeah.
Where was the last one? Yeah, Tranquil Scholar, for instance. That's what
Shredder.
the unseen are all about. I think someone just didn't get the memo, and then they were like, "Oh no, just put a mask on him. It's fine."
This is the scene.
The partially seen. He's like, "Hey, check out my cool rune. You have lifesteal now." Yeah,
This card's very strong.
yeah, just quite solid. How many 3 cost 3/3s do we need?
A lot.
Okay,
A lot.
I guess I understand why you guys are like don't care about that anymore. It's because everybody's a 3 cost 3/3. Whatever. This one is Tireless Stranger and says strangers have endurance.
Not exciting, but efficient enough as far as strangers go in terms of cost. Strangers tend to be kind of undercosted or overcosted.
This one's an upgrade on an existing card, effectively. There was the 2/3 endurance in the first set. So, like,
There's a straight up like 3 cost 2/3 endurance. I think it was common,
Yeah.
so
Yes.
I guess that
And-
is how it
and this
justifies
one
it. This
can-
this can pass off endurance to enemy strangers.
Your opponent's team, strangers.
Target
2 mana
and-
2/2s can have endurance.
Target enemy ally. But nah, he's fine. That's
Yeah.
super exciting. And now I'm starting to get like tone deaf to the 3-cost 3/3. No, what's happening to me? Next up is Peacekeeper's Prod, a completely uncastable 3/2 weapon that says summon, stun an enemy unit.
I hope you're in mono justice for this thing.
Seriously.
If you are, play it on your fencing master and go to town.
Yeah, if that actually happens, like, Wazam! I attack for 8!
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty strong play you're describing. Just like triple justice influence is a tall order.
On
so if
4.
you want to, if you want to be doing this on time, that's a pretty restrictive cost.
And it's 4 mana for 3/2 weapon.
That's kind of what I don't get about this. Like what? Like this is a rare. So wait, was it just tearing up their limited environments? Like, oh man, this big weapon that gets a blocker out of the way.
Maybe. That's a fine reason to adjust rarity. It's like, just to make limited better. God, if only Hearthstone did that.
Yeah, seriously.
But, this thing compares a little poorly to Geral's Frostkin, which is a known... I like that card.
Well, I would not say... That card does not have charge. This card effectively has charge.
This kind of has charge. I like Geral's Frostkin more, but...
And this can go on an evasive creature. I think that's underselling this card's effect. For me, it's just, why is this triple justice?
Yeah.
Prod.
Like
Give him the prod.
even a lot of our other like mainline banner cards, high rarities at high power, only reach into 2. Like 2 influence at the very most.
Runehammer.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Triple justice. Like there's a gimmick man in triple time, or triple time influence. That's just a 0-cost 3/3. He used to be a 3/2, and he was awful. And then they boosted him.
3/2, you say?
Yeah. Then they boosted him to 3/3, and he was fine.
Would they boost this to 3/3? Would it be fine?
Probably.
Well,
I think
again,
they could either boost it to 3/3 or have only like 2 justice.
I don't think you're playing this in constructed because, we're talking about what if we adjusted it to 3/3? What if it wasn't triple justice? There's a card called, there's that Warhammer that gives triple war cry. That's just the better version of the card for constructed.
Yeah.
Easier to cast, actually gives 3/3, If you're playing triple influence, I want to be playing Soulfire Drake, all right? Like,
that's true.
Yeah, they had to fit more 3s into here, so like all the other like 3, that wasn't enough.
Well, then why isn't it 3/3/3/3?
I don't know.
3 cost, 3 influence, 3 power.
Stun 3 enemy units.
3 enemy units.
Yeah, that needs to ever happen. Next up is Rabble Rouser, a 4-cost 2/2 revenge, and you may give another unit +2/+2 this turn on the summon.
So, there's a Cornwatch thing that gives sword and health equal to its sword and health permanently. But that guy's an uncommon or a rare? This guy's alright in limited. Like, Timberwolf Alpha.
Crownwatch Cavalry. I think
Cornwatch? Yeah, the Cornwatch Cavalry.
Cornwatch Cavalry.
Watching that corn.
I love the Cornwatch.
I think this guy's okay. As far as 4 mana 2/2s go.
I think I would like him better in a different color. Like, if he were in Shadow instead of Justice, then I would more appreciate the, like, small guy who has a summon effect, because then I can make use of my sacrifice outlets later.
Or maybe give this guy the scream this guy out.
Haunting scream. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sold on this one. I tried to give it a little bit of play in limited, and its body was a little too a 2/2 body is a little too irrelevant for my tastes in limited.
Yeah, like he's the guy that you can threaten a double block with, and they're still fine with it because you're going to be left with a 2/2.
Yeah. I guess the +2/+2 on it is a bit of a board breaky thing, like a Timberwolf Alpha or whatever the card is in Magic. That's basically the same thing.
So I fear that might not be enough. Also, like
Yeah.
It's 2+2 this turn. And this guy doesn't have ambush.
Yeah.
No, you have to scream it after it destinies Hydra. I'm
Oh
not
my
saying it's
god.
perfect.
Okay,
I'm
I'm
saying
putting Rabble Rouser back in the closet. Next up is Shard of the Spire. It's a 4-cost relic. It says when you play a unit, its sword heart becomes the higher of the two. Oh.
Replace your sword with hearts, or replace your hearts with swords.
3 mana, 7/7, etc., etc. This is Doran, but better, but worse. Doran is, of course, a 3 mana 5/5 in Magic. This is a relic that doesn't do. This is a 4 mana do nothing relic. The turn you play it. But what if your little 1 mana 0/3 flyer Scry one was a 3/3?
Yeah, I guess this is good if you think that Dune Phantom was ever worth doing.
Yeah, if you did bust out your Dune Phantom.
Ambush
I guess
6/6.
Cumbre is kind of where this card wants to be, isn't it? They've got a lot of high toughness creatures.
Yeah, you tend to get a lot more health than
The Cumbre Healer doesn't work with this
for
card.
your money. Yeah, it doesn't. That's interesting.
Karmic Guardian does.
It does. So does what if I had a 5 mana 7/7 Death Touch, gain 5 life? Anyways.
Yeah. The main problem with the main problem with the card is that in multiples the card is useless, and the secondary main problem is what you said: 4 mana, do nothing the turn you play it.
But potentially spicy.
Yeah, I'm kind of terrified that this exists. Like that's gonna be a pain.
That's also true. This does turn your fire creatures that are very top heavy into just huge.
Yeah.
Cobble Brute becomes just a 5/5.
I don't know. I don't think this really has potential. Like if you want a 4-cost relic that makes your dudes stronger, one already exists and it's really goddamn good.
Several exist, in fact.
It's called Xenon Obelisk. And you can play as many Xenon Obelisks as you want, and they keep getting good and better, and holy shit.
Yeah.
Yes, Chalice also kind of fulfills the role too, but that
costs that's really the recursive draws are that, and Chalice has a deck building restriction, where Shard of the Spire has the deck building restriction too. Xenon Obelisk does not.
No.
It imposes no restrictions on the cards you want to play. You just play anything, any guys, and it's fine.
Is Chalice the best mentor card?
Probably.
Maybe. Rather good.
Like, it doesn't literally say mentor student, but...
right.
Well...
I guess you can
really
mentor
good.
large creatures, and you can't really Chalice a large creature.
Yeah, that tends to not matter all that much. So, okay, I think I'm going to not ever play Shard of the Spire then, now that I've come around to remembering that Xenon Obelisk exists.
Speaking of not ever play,
maybe pick Shard of the Spire first in draft and then build around it for fun.
Yeah, that would be fun. So it's possible to have fun with the card, I think.
Yeah.
It's not possible to have fun with Spiked Buckler, though.
yeah.
Is this the Hylian shield? Wait, this is some kind of Zelda thing.
This is the shield you start Twilight Princess with that can burn.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You have to replace it with a different shield.
Right.
This card is...
the guy wielding it in the art is already asleep because it's just that boring.
Mm-hmm.
Oops.
Yeah. Well,
I guess because they added a powerful hit for Caleb, they had to add another whiff.
I guess the Cornwatch sword is already not.
Yeah, we don't even like that one. It's kind of mediocre.
We begrudgingly accept Cornwatch as our 26. I would very be upset to have to be forced to play this as my 26.
All right. Well, next up is Valkyrie Militant. It's a 4-cost 2/2 flying, which sounds familiar if you've looked at other Valkyries, and says when you play a weapon, you gain 1 armor. Now the weapon doesn't have to be on you; it could be on any unit. It has to be on either one of your units or you. That's how weapons work, unfortunately. But yeah.
I had this guy with Emerald Ring, and that was cute, is I think as far as I'll go to say.
Man,
Yeah, the effect is so minor, like.
hmm
it,
And it's
it is it is pretty minor.
it's minor and but
So, what do you guys think about 4-cost 2/2 flyers in an Eternal card game?
I accept basically any card with the word flying on it in limited. I have come to the point where
Man.
I would like there's this card called Scaldkin. I would kill for Scaldkin in the game of Eternal card game.
Revenge.
So,
Okay, I think that if that's the case, that Eternal card game, E-Kernel, we're still talking about corn, I guess. the corn card game has hurt you in some way. Like, is it that bad that we need any flying? Just any flying. I'll play a humbug. I swear to God, I'll do it. Hi, puppy. Hello, puppy. Do you wanna review cards with me?
what does BB think about 4 costing 2/2?
Well, right now she wants to know what it smells like, and she's more interested in my coffee. So I think we're gonna put this down. Like the fact of the matter is that we can get better than this.
Oh, we can definitely do
in Justice, in Draft, and whatever. We can do better than this. So next up is Valkyrie Spire Guard, a rare for power to influence, 3/3 flying, +3/+3 while you have another Valkyrie.
That might as well have the word enforcer at the end of.
Yeah, +3/+3 while you control Valkyrie Enforcer. Wait, what about the like 1-cost 1/1 guy? Like, I feel if you first pick this in limited, you can like fill your deck out with the little guy, and that would still be fine.
Like I have played against this, and 6/6 flyers are no joke. You lose games very quickly to them.
That's just it. The comparison would be Champion of Wisdom, I think.
Yeah.
Because that's a 4-cost unit that becomes a 6/6 flyer pretty easily, but with some effort. So yeah, I think this is about the same as that, which is to say, quite good. And this one, even if you're picking it, doesn't even lock you into two factions.
Right. Also, like the champion doesn't even have flying on its face. It needs flying off of one of its abilities. This thing, like if you don't control another Valkyrie, is a 3/3 flyer.
It still works. Man, that's good.
Yeah. I pay 5/4 sometimes.
Woof. Yeah, I guess we do. It's kind of a pity. Next up is Victor's Cry. That's Victor pictured in the center of the art, I guess. Which is a fast spell with revenge and +5/+5 on one of your units this turn.
You want to win a fight? This card's gonna win a fight.
Yeah, it's like the first time it's a combat trick, and then the second time it's the overrun, the breaker.
Yeah, like you play this, and your 1-mana 1/1 can defeat Sandstorm Titan, and then the second time around,
fast spell even.
Yeah,
so
the second time
that's kind of
around,
nutty.
It's a crushing just attack.
So yeah, that's Victor is doing all right.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the Cornwatch Press Gang. There's a 5-cost 3/3 rare with revenge, and draw a 1-cost unit of your choice from your deck on summon.
I'm not sure what this is doing.
Okay, there are plenty of 1-cost units in the game that are quite good.
Oh, sorry,
Right?
I mean the art. What are we?
Oh Lord, I have no idea. He's got like justice pliers, and he's about to grab that guy by the head with his huge pliers and press him, I guess. Wait, is that the Crusher?
Ooh, We're pressing this tiny person into.
Little man, you are a 1-cost unit. Now get in the pliers. You will be pressed.
you, you press the book loving robot to help you, like.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were saying about one drops that exist.
Right. I mean, there are plenty of good one drops. I can't think of any in Justice exactly. So you kind of have to dip into another color if you want to get full effect out of this guy. But he has his own revenge, and you get to double dip. So if that like one cost unit can do any work at all, then yeah, you're golden.
Ooh, what about the wisp? The wisp that like on 5 time influence just gets huge. That's like grabbing a figure of destiny with your ranger.
Right. So you could I guess have that. Is that better than like Vodafone? Like anytime the Combre faction comes up, like, and someone has a plan, and I'm like, okay, that's a plan. Now, is it better than than Vodafone? Because the answer is probably no. So
Right.
I'm pretty sure that what this guy is doing is grabbing Valkyrie Aspirant once, and then I don't know, Reckless Stranger, Punchy Stranger, whatever
Honestly,
that guy is.
the second time you play this, you really want to be grabbing something with an ultimate, because the first time you've played it, you had 5 power.
Right.
The second time when it revenges, you probably have like 9 power.
Yeah.
It's like, I need to go grab Pyro Knight because it's a relevant body.
Which could be quite neat. So I think this guy is fine. Sort of a value man card advantage engine, miniature card advantage engine. It's not that bad. I don't think he's going to make it anywhere. Not until we get a one cost unit that is some kind of disgusting nonsense.
Right. If there was a 1 cost 1/1 Valkyrie Enforcer.
Tiny Valkyrie Enforcer. Oh wait. No. What about playing this guy after you have reduced the cost of your entire deck?
Wow, that actually should function, right?
Right?
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, unless you've done it so much that they cost 0, at which point this guy can no longer find them.
What if you could chain them? You make everything cost -4, and then
No. Okay. You play 2 of those guys, and then the third one is going to cost 1, so you can tutor him with this guy. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh man. Oh, that's gonna be dumb. And then you'll have a board full of like 1/1s and 2/2s. So next up is Minotaur Duelist, which I'm pretty sure was like one specific issue. Yeah, one specific issue of the magazine from the late 1990s about card games. Minotaur Duelist. I'm pretty
All
sure
about
that.
Herloon Minotaur.
Yeah, it's just the Minotaur episode, the Minotaur issue. This one is a 5-cost 3/2 with Revenge and Summon Stun, which seems just fine.
So we're paying +1 on Frostkin.
Yep. +1 in power and influence, I believe.
Yeah, and we're losing a point of we're losing a heart to get the revenge, and then I guess the question is how. I guess the question this card asks is, what is revenge worth as cost?
I'm pretty sure that like +1 power and influence -1 health is still a fine cost to pay. You're getting double the effect, maybe drawing a card effectively. I think he's fine.
I guess like if I'm in my head, I'm just sitting here thinking, like, if I had this in the pack and I had the Frostkin, which would I pick? Like vacuum, like, you know,
Right.
They would both be just as valuable to me, and that's a hard one for me because I'm not.
Certainly early on, I would go for this guy just to like have the experience. And it's hard to say what my pick order would be after I've already played with him a bunch.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Revenge is pretty hard to rate because Revenge it goes somewhere in the top 10.
Yep.
And that can also be pushed down by other Revenge units. But yeah,
Yeah,
I think there's a enemy AI affecting part of Revenge too.
they know
Where
it's coming.
yeah, for the rest of the game, they're going to if they know that Stun Man is going to be on his way and get played for free, then they're going to hold back a little more.
Hmm. It's like the old magic mechanic of draw a card at the beginning of the next upkeep. If instead it said at the beginning of one of your next 10 upkeeps. Just one of
Floral
those.
Spooza will decide which upkeep it is that you draw the card. Next up is Scepter of Nobility, a 5-cost 3/3 relic weapon that says costs 2 less while any of your units are wielding a weapon. That's very boring.
Yeah. Well, so okay, you're without that effect, we're at like basically worse than Mithril Mace. Like,
Pretty
yeah,
much
you lose.
worse than Mithril Mace, yeah.
And with that effect, we're at 3/3/3, which is fine.
Yeah, there was the red spark weapon that just plain does that. And then there's sort of Icaria. It does not stack. This
No.
absolutely does not stack because this says any of your units are wielding a weapon. So I think that's just a binary check. Is any unit wielding a weapon? Yes, no. If yes, okay, -2 on this. There's no way this gets to be like a 0-cost 3/3. That might be playable if it did stack.
Oh God!
Like maybe instead of cost 2 less for any, be like cost 1 less for each.
Yeah.
Yeah, Echo Daggers with that would be really good. You'd eventually get a 0-cost 3/3 relic weapon. Is that actually good?
Is that a payoff? Like what? Yeah, your payoff there is really low. Like,
yeah, this is kind of bland and just really fair.
you know how I'm reminded of the 4 costing 3/3 taunt pirate, where like just like the payoff is not actually that good. Like your payoff is you get like on turn 7 a 2 costing 3/3 taunt, like something like
Right.
that. It's just like this is
No, the payoff there is the one story that I saw in pictures in a Hearthstone draft where someone's paladin opponent had played True Silver Champion and then 3 of those pirates in the same turn. It's just like, bam, crunch, and they're locked out of the game starting at turn 4. Which like that is an upside, but like this, you can't even play 2 of these in the same turn. Like play one and then overwrite it with the next one.
when your card looks just kind of worse than Mithril Mace. Like Mithril Mace is my baseline of a weapon I will play.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we're done. Goodbye, Scepter of Nobility. Scepter of No Ability, because it doesn't actually have it. Oh, I get it now. That's cute.
That's the joke.
Yeah. Next up is Aerialist's Kopesh, which is 6-cost 3/3. Summon the wielder gets flying this turn.
That's a very powerful Kopesh to just throw you into the air.
Whoa! Like,
but only once.
just the one that it's spent. I feel like it should have a rope. Like there should be a rope coming off of this, and then it's like they used the rope, but you can only use the rope like the once.
Ropes are one-time use. They get too knotted afterwards.
Yeah, definitely, or like frayed,
or you cut it. That's
just
how you
not
do the
safe.
trick.
You have to cut the rope.
Yeah, or sometimes the rope just disintegrates in your hand. I've had that happen a lot.
So I think this is fine. It's no Valkyrie wings.
This is very expensive.
What is the card again? I haven't opened the
Aerialist's Kopesh. It's the one that jumps a unit and is a permanent +3/+3 and costs 6.
It's like 6 mana, right?
Yeah.
6 power.
Horde breakers.
I mean, this is
so
the kind of thing
expensive.
that you get at a common for 6 power, I think.
At common, yeah, this is what you get. I'm reminded of what Hellforge, a better than Hellforge rifle, I guess.
Yeah,
would be the...
like this. This will win you a game of limited. It did not do much
Better
more
than Hellforge rifle. Whoa.
You can put that on the back of the box for
Ouch.
this card with my quote.
That hurts. Okay, next up is Horngrinder. Horngrinder. Horngrinder.
Horngrinder.
Horngrinder. There's a 6 cost 3/6. When you gain a purple dinosaur footprint, Horngrinder gets that much sword and heart.
This
That's not bad.
Really huge.
Yeah.
Get rather large.
No, this guy can get stupid. Like holy
what?
crap! You play like what? Throne Warden, Roland's favor,
Roland's favor, equipping a weapon.
putting a weapon on, and he just gets huge immediately. Jeez. Yes, it works on relic weapons because that counts as gaining armor.
Yeah, this is this knows what deck it wants to be in and is quite functional in that.
He looks so upset at you too. I think I like that the most about this.
Because he's like, you don't have any armor? Huh?
I don't know. I don't know exactly how you grind horns with the tools that he has, but I'm not willing to tell him how to do his job.
Right. The hammer, like what is the little mallet for?
That's
I
the
do
grinder,
grind with
I guess.
hammer.
Also, this must be like the Minotaur equivalent of a barber. Like
Yeah.
the person
Minotaur
sitting
barber.
there- this person sitting there looks like somebody in a barber shop, eyes forward, just not caring at all. Like,
Well, horns are made out of the same thing hair is. It's all keratin, right?
Yeah, for the most part.
So
What
does
if
the
they-
horn grinder do the beard?
Yeah.
Again, I'm not willing to tell this guy how to do his job. He's doing great. Next up, Prosecutor at Arms. 6 cost 4/4, double justice influence. Mentor, give an enemy unit minus sword equal to the student's sword. Oh, so this is a targeting nightmare.
Yeah.
So it's like, choose the student, choose the target. Because it has to care about the student in some way, so you can't just like pick the target and then the student. Unless you do, in which case I don't know.
This feels like a lot of work for the effect you're getting. Like, you have to play a like below cost body, tap at least a decent creature to turn one of your opposing creatures into like a wall, and like that's functional.
This guy looks really poor next to Throne Warden, for instance. So I don't think he's ever going to go anywhere. I don't think the like mentor student deck really wants this either, unless you really do have one of those cards that's like, oh, make me a student, and then okay.
Wait a second. I might have to go.
But yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because Trolls might be streaming Yoko, and that's more important.
Okay. Understood.
I have to
Enjoy the
look,
Yoko.
though.
So, yeah. And yeah, okay, yes. You cannot, because it's given enemy unit and mentor is only your units, you cannot pick targets incorrectly.
Which is good.
But still, it's like, that's too much. I shouldn't have to click on 2 different things when I play a creature. Okay, yes, I do not like playing Shimmer Pack.
playing Shimmer Pack feels like the most I want to be doing that with is Combust, where it's like click on mine, click on yours, they both explode.
Right.
Okay. Great.
Well.
This card's expensive.
Yeah, quite a bit. He also he looks like somebody. I don't know who. I feel like I've seen that guy before. Just can't place him. Probably some video game character. Next up is Rolot's Fist. Doomfist is here. A 6 cost legendary weapon.
Mm-hmm.
That's +7/+7. Summon silence all enemy Valkyrie.
what
Which
a very specific
that is
effect.
a bizarre card.
This is a flavor card. It gets to be a flavor card. It's still huge, though, is the thing?
Right, like, if this card was blank, like, cover up that text and it's like, okay, 6 cost for +7/+7. Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, Charles is doing your card. I gotta skedaddle.
Okay.
I
Peace out. The
look for good cards.
All right, we'll keep going until we find good cards.
I'm sure we can find
them. What a bizarre thing. Next up is Roosting Owl. 6 cost 2/4 with flying, and mentor the top unit of your deck gets the student's Sword Heart.
Is that overwriting? Or is that in addition?
Okay, hold on. We'll settle this because we'll use a card that we know to learn about a card that we don't.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go to 4s, and I'm gonna type in Crown. And oops, not Crown Slash. That won't get anybody. Here we go. Okay, so Crown Watch Cavalry says, give them my stats, and he's a plus.
Okay.
So I think this one is also a plus.
Okay, goodness. I think I've said this the last time we had the gets wording. I really dislike that wording because it's incredibly ambiguous.
Right. You basically have to do it once before you figure it out.
Right.
Where this guy is just fine. Like a 2/4 can help you live longer, which is what you're going to need to do if you ever want to draw the top unit of your deck after it's gotten this boost.
Yeah. And you have to like play the game of if it's like which of your units you are able to like drop the shields of for a little bit.
Yeah.
But like the 2/4
so it's like tap a guy, Warcry a bunch of times.
Yeah, Warcry like 5 times.
That sounds fine. that's kind of good.
Yeah. Also, really, I like this owl. This is a really good looking.
Oh, he looks really great.
Good looking owl.
Next up is Leave a Witness, which I'm pretty sure this is also graveyard art from like a beta card or something. Anyway, it's a 7-cost spell, 3 influence. It says kill all units. Mentor, spare the student.
Dune Blast was a pretty strong card.
Yeah. So there are times when I'm playing against like the Huru control deck, and I'm like, okay, I have run them out of Hour of Blow Up unit. What the heck is
Harsh Rules?
Harsh Rule. I've run them out of Harsh Rules, so now they only have their Pyroclasm Sweeper or whatever. Now I cannot run them out of Harsh Rules anymore. They have more.
There are always going to be more Harsh Rules.
Right? Like a Harsh Rule that leaves your Throne Warden behind. That's really good.
Or like Harsh Rule that leaves Seraph on the table.
I don't even want to think about that. Now, yes, it is expensive. You're paying a lot for that effect, both in power and influence, but it's worth it. I don't think this is going to be like the only sweeper in your deck. You're probably playing both this and Harsh Rule.
This is like the supplement, I would say.
Yeah.
I'd still think you're probably like if your deck needs like, all right, let's
if you
play
need
Wrath,
more sweepers, you play extra of this and not extra Harsh Rules. You're already playing 4 Harsh Rule.
Yeah.
Next up is Eliash, the Broken Wing. 8 cost, 8/4.
Those wings look pretty functional to me, bud.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe the purple isn't supposed to be there.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe that's like, yeah, hold on. Because the other let me just...
Yeah,
let me type
my wings got purpled a little bit.
Okay, so you're a Valk. No, you have the purple. Well, that's on the tips. Okay, purple tips. Green. What about you? Orange. You have purple tips. We'll get to these guys later, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Ilyash, where are you? I miss you. Okay.
Okay.
Flying Lifesteal Revenge.
You want a card that just wins a game if it's unanswered?
Yeah.
Like, if they don't,
4
if
influence for that.
yeah,
So I guess Mono Justice finally got its, like, biggest breaker.
right. Like you play this, if they don't answer it, that's I don't know, 16-point swing.
Yeah. Okay, so compared to Sword of the Sky King, also 8
Uh-huh.
cost, also gains you 8 life right away, more or less.
Sword's gonna be the better.
Yeah, Sword is
Like,
more immediate, but, like, less effect overall, I think.
yeah, though.
It's not
Like,
a perfect comparison, but it is reasonable, I think. Like, you're going to be looking at these side by side a lot of times.
you don't want. No, I don't think. See, I don't think it's put both in the same deck because you don't want to be playing a bunch of 8s. That's a little too much.
Yeesh.
That's
There'd be
too
like,
many 8s.
yeah, you put them both in the same deck if you only own like one of each, because they're legendary.
Right.
I think that's when that becomes reasonable.
And you can't decide which one's going to be the better one.
Right. I think you can have multiple 8s in a deck. Like there are decks that play multiple of Sword of the Sky King. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Akaria cost 7. God, if you rise to the challenge for this guy, that's...
Even better. Even better. After it's revenged, rise to the challenge. It boom into play.
That's disgusting.
Like,
Oh.
Yeah. Rise to the challenge, put it into play because it was revenged, and now it's 10 power, and hello, I'm here.
Yeah, that's kind of gross. I hope I never see this guy because I don't want to have to spend 2 pieces of removal on it.
I kind of want to play one in like Icaria style deck now, just because any deck in a deck that plays Rise to the Challenge just for that.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's Elias or Eliash the Broken Wing, depending on how you pronounce that.
Mm-hmm.
Next up is Video Game Man, Valkyrie Line Breaker.
linebacker.
Valkyrie linebacker. An 8 cost 5/6 flying mentor. You gain purple equal to the student's heart.
So mentor the Horn Grinder.
Yeah. Jeez,
then...
that's kind of gross. That's set like 8 for this guy.
So the last one was like this constructed card where we were talking about it in a lot of we were talking about it in a constructed way because legendary.
Right.
This one here is much more of a draft card because
yeah, I mean, I'll already play a 5/6 flyer in draft that's called Stormbreath Dragon or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
He only costs 6 though, and I get 2 of him.
Right. Is a rare versus an uncommon, and sometimes
Yeah. Lower influence cost too.
I would be okay. Like, this is a card I would want to have one of in my draft deck as like the card I draw that means I'm winning.
Man, we've gotten a lot of that in Justice, haven't we? The flyer who's like, oh, how much are you willing to give in order to have flying on your text box? That's kind of it. Well, that's Justice.
All right, we've done it.
We did it, Justice. So what do you think of the color?
So Justice gets some really strong tools here, and honestly, my favorite card is the one I jumped in on.
Oh, the
Tranquil
Shredder.
Scholar. Yeah, Shredder. Honestly, the animation is what does it for me. Like getting the little and like the Mario Kart sound plays, and then you get a banana peel, and it's like, oh
no, banana.
But sometimes you get double damage, and you put double damage on your Sandstorm Titan, and like it was the star.
No.
Whoops.
Oh, the blue shell is back.
Yeah. There's also a lot of just nicely powerful stuff. We have the overabundance of 3-mana 3/3 or 3 costing 3/3s in
Right.
here. That's, not a lot that's like super constructed worthy outside of the couple that we
Right. Honestly, the most interesting cards for doing something fun or silly and constructed or like Shard of the Spire here, and even that is just plain worse than an existing card, so I'm not super happy about that.
Yeah, like
I'm not making the stun deck just so I can put a Gem Blade on somebody. That doesn't hunt. I might be playing
no.
Valkyries to make a bigger Valkyrie though.
True.
Play Valkyrie Enforcer. Hey. Alright, so that wraps up Justice. I'm going to move on to everything else in just a minute. And if Sly and I can stick around for as much as we can, that would be great. So, thanks everybody. We'll get to the wrap up very soon.